What is up, guys? It is Official Small Battles here. Today, I'm not reacting to anything SMO related. I'm reacting to Birdie, and this one is customer service jobs are hell on earth. So, yeah, if you guys go on to enjoy the video, please drop a like, subscribe to the channel as always. And I'm gonna try to do more like non-SMO related reactions. So this would be the first one that's not SMO related at all.
If you've ever worked a retail job throughout your life, you have definitely experienced bad customers. And for those of you that keep up with my channel, you will know that I used to work at a grocery store.
Yeah,
Of course,
I
everybody
know
wants
that.
to get food somehow, so you don't know who the hell and what kind of characters you're going to be dealing with for the day, but it doesn't matter. I signed up for it, and I was getting paid $11 an hour to deal with it. So
Oh, $11.
your characters I ran into, as you know, and I've
Yeah.
talked about some of them in videos prior, but today I am dropping more lore and talking
Alright.
about new characters I came across. I think it's great to start off with the fish guy.
The fish guy.
My grocery store has a seafood section, and a lot of times my mom and dad would buy stuff from the seafood section. And this dude, the fish guy, was there all the time to remind people what they put in these fish and blah blah blah. And one time my dad,
Bruh.
when he was buying fish, this dude seemed to have like some kind of crash out episode. Like as my dad was waiting in line, somebody was like grabbing salmon or something in front of him. This dude was like, "Do you know what they put in these fish? Pesticides. They put pesticides in these fish." Like, all right, buddy, put your tinfoil hat away. Holy
Bruh.
shit. Because if they were, people would be dying. All right, people would be dead if they were genuinely putting pesticides in these fish.
Yeah.
And he would just stand there for like minutes at a time and tell people that they're putting pesticide.
Okay. That is like, I don't see what you could possibly gain from that. I really don't know what you can possibly gain from that. Like, oh yeah, they don't buy it. I guess the store doesn't really make money. But like, that never usually works unless there's actual evidence. And plus, like you said, people would die if they put pesticides in it. Like, bruh, like, yeah, that the fish guy seems really stupid and out of his mind.
In the fish, like he was some kind of activist raising awareness about it. Like he would stand there with a fucking sign. Okay, he would not stand there with a sign, but you get my point. But he would camp at the seafood section, and he would be there quite often. And when I was sitting there on my break, my dad told me about this altercation that he just came across, and I was not ready for what I was about to witness next. And it was about time for me to get off break afterwards. I clock back in, and then of course one of my first customers is Fish Guy.
Oh
And
no, not the
know it
fish
at first.
guy.
I had no idea. And then this dude tells me everything that he was telling everybody else about the pesticides and the fish or whatever. And the entire time I'm scanning this guy's groceries, he's just yapping about this whole fish thing. And I've never wanted to tell somebody to shut the hell up more my entire life. And you know how it is with
Like,
crazy
why?
people, you kind of just have to agree with them and be like, yup, until they go away. Or else they're not going to go away.
Yeah.
Well, eventually he got his groceries and he went away. Him and the conspiracy theorist guy I talked about, I don't even know how many videos ago now. Must have been buddy. Sitting on the couch, drinking a beer, discussing flat earth theory or some shit. I don't know. Oh my god, these fucking peons in the round earth. I can't believe it. Yeah, I know, right? They're such imbeciles. Holy shit. But not only have I dealt with crazy people, I have also dealt with Karens. Or, well, I guess they are crazy people. Karens are so frequent at this grocery store that I never really told a lot of stories revolving around Karens. And of course, we gotta start with the male Karen. We'll call him Darren.
Darren.
When Darren would walk up to my register, I would just say, like, "Hi, how are you?" Paper and plastic. Okay, alright, never mind. And one...
I accidentally muted it.
Darren. Immediately when Darren would walk up to my register, I would just say, like, "Hi, how are you?" Paper and plastic, please. Okay, alright, never mind. And one time, I'm going through the motion of putting his paper bags inside of plastic bags, whatever he wanted. Some issue was going on where these potatoes that I had would not ring up, whatever. And this was around the time where I first started off, and for those of you that never have worked at a grocery store, you gotta memorize a whole Bible of PLU codes. They gave us a reference sheet in alphabetical order, but sometimes it was just impossible to
Bruh.
fine. So I was looking for this specific bag of potatoes he bought, and to this day, I swear, this was the exact brand that he bought. I put it in, and he was like, these potatoes were $2.99. So I go to check the price of these potatoes, and turns out they were $3.99. So I come back, and I tell him this information, and he's like, no, they're $2.99. So I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? I didn't want to deal with it.
$2.99.
I honestly could have got fired for this. I don't really care. I just decided to say, fuck it. You know what? You're right, bro. They're $2.99 just to get them out of my face. And that's what I did. I changed the price to $2.99 just so he would leave me the hell alone. I just didn't even care anymore.
I mean, it's only $1.
Over $1. I didn't even want to deal with it. If
Right,
I get
just
fired,
pay it.
I get fired. What? And this next story takes place in
Yeah.
it was like January of 2020. This
Oh.
was before the pandemic. I was like 16 years old. I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I would often forget that.
Oh,
so
boy.
it was on me, 16-year-old me, whether or not you were eating today, which is crazy. So this customer
Oh,
that
boy.
came up to me was
2020 was a rough year.
To begin with. She was already yelling at me because I didn't put the meats in a separate bag. And okay, should I have done that? Yeah, but it's not really that big of a deal. Like, as long as I didn't put that shit with, like, dish soap or something, it would be fine. I slid a little taco seasoning packet in there, and she got all mad at me. She's still being, like, super passive-aggressive with me. She was, like, telling me how to do my job, almost. Like, she was pretty much like, you gotta...
Well, that's why you gotta work at a Aldi if you're a cashier. Or, yeah, if you're a cashier. Like, because they don't put it in bags. They just put it in your cart. So, like, you take your items out of the cart, they scan them, then you put, like, the cart towards the end. They put it in the cart. Then you either bring your own Aldi bag that you bought from the store, like for like $1 or something like that. Then you bag it up yourself so there's no problems. Ta-da. Like, yeah, sure. I think that's the only like major place that doesn't do like bagged groceries. Like if you go through the like cashier line or something like that. Which, I mean, I wouldn't mind, like, I don't mind that, because, like, you know, if they put, like, the bread with, like, something heavy on top of it, yeah. Yeah,
Rip the
that's,
bag on, it's too heavy. So I start separating things, and this is when I forgot a bag. Because obviously, separating things is gonna make it way more complicated for my stupid, no attention span having to remember where it is. Because the bags I was using were on like a carousel type of thing, so that's how I would forget bags a lot. I think I was just an idiot, that's probably why. But anyways, you know, as I get this lady out of there, I realize that I forgot a bag. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm cooked. And this
right.
already left by now. It's been like 10 minutes. But regardless, I go sprint out to the parking lot like I'm running a marathon. Not like that 200 people in the parking lot I'm looking for. It's nighttime, it's winter, it's cold. I'm not gonna see her. So I just go up to the customer service desk and I take my L. I tell them I forgot a bag, and yeah, they just looked at me in disappointment. Because this was like the fucking 4th time in the last 2 weeks. But like 20 minutes later, she comes back just to yell at me because I forgot the bag. It was a bag with a mini box of frozen sausages.
Frozen sausages.
But she was like, "Oh, you could ruin people's days at breakfast or whatever the hell."
Okay, like, I wouldn't say all of that. I would just say, hey, you forgot a bag. They would just give it and I would just be on my way. I wouldn't say, like, all of this extra junk. Like, yeah, I would be, like, a little mad if I'm, like, drive all the way home. Then I have to drive all the way back. Then I'll be mad. But, like, if it's, like, I noticed in the parking lot, okay, yeah, I'm just going to go back in the store and say, hey, you forgot a bag. So, depending on if she went all the way home, then all the way back to the store, yeah, I would be a little mad.
And I genuinely thought I was getting fired that day. I'm like, bro, it's over. I'm gonna have to get a new job. I literally started working here a couple months ago. She wasn't like super bad, but she was kind of being like super passive aggressive with me, which was really annoying. And immediately she went up to customer service, and I knew exactly what that meant. Manager comes up to me, Birdie, we're gonna have to talk to you after the shift. I'm like, oh god, here we go. So I sit down in the manager's
that's
office,
never good at all.
And he proceeds to tell me I'm suspended for 2 weeks. And yes, that's how shit at my job I was. I got suspended. And I would have got fired if they weren't looking for bodies on the register. I mean, pretty much that's what they were looking for. If you had a pulse, boom, you're hired. Genuinely, that's what it felt like. So, I got lucky that I was not fired. Otherwise, I would have had to find some other shit to do. My dumbass may or may not have gotten finessed by a customer. I don't know what the outcome was.
What do you mean get
My
finessed?
dumbass basically did not know how to run their payment through a check, right? And in order for the check to go through, obviously it needs to be signed by the person. Or, well, I knew this, but I was, like, unsure, and I let this lady manipulate me. So I told her, I'm like, hey, the check's unsigned. You have to sign it. And she was like, oh, no, you could just hand somebody the blank check, and it will just go through. I was like, are you sure? And she was like, yeah.
Nah, man. If someone tries to pull something like that, even if, like, if I'm unsure, I'm gonna Google that junk. Like, just look up on my phone real quick. Cause, like, better be safe than sorry. So, and plus, since when can you pay with a check anywhere? Like, I know some places will accept a check, but most places say they won't accept a check, like a restaurant and all that. Like, if you try to pay with a check and, like, fast food and all that, yeah, they're not accepting that junk. I don't know if grocery stores are any different. I'm pretty sure most grocery stores don't accept checks, so I mean, I'm pretty sure they even tell you, hey, we don't accept checks, so don't. If someone has to pay with a check, just say that we don't accept checks.
And of course, they drilled in my head, the supermarket I worked at, the customer is always right. I don't know how many times they said that throughout my opening meeting.
Oh.
But second guessing myself in that moment, I'm like, oh, maybe she is right. But I'm like, what? No, that's stupid. Obviously, she's trying to, like, finesse you. And these two thoughts in my brain were just completely duking it out. And I had no idea what to do in that moment. And I caved. Of course I did. I was like, oh, sure, I'll just run it through. And the check went through somehow because the register system is old as fuck. Like, I don't know why they don't just get new systems. So it ended up going through with...
How? What? What? Oh, yeah. One of my substitutes, like, he said, like, when he was going to, like, a McDonald's, like, he ordered something, it came out to, like, $16 and something cents. So, he said, and he hands the cashier 20. Then the cashier says, "Oh, I don't know how to, like, give change back because there's, like, the cash register wasn't working." And he said, "What do you mean? Just do simple math." And he gave, like, a rough estimate, like, off the top of his head. And so, like, the cashier had to call the manager over to, like, fix the cash register. Like, dang, man. Gen Z people really can't, like, do math. That's simple math, my guy. Like even I would say, like, oh, your change is gonna be like $3 and something cents. I'm not gonna know the cents on the dot, but, like, something cents. But let's be honest, who's really gonna care for, like, the 2 quarters?
No signature, which is crazy. And she was like, oh, have a great day. The moment I heard that, I'm like, oh shit, she definitely finessed me. And the manager came up to me after I handed in the check when my shift was over. She was like, what's this? I'm like, a check? The moment that happened, I knew I was in deep shit. Yeah, my manager definitely thought I was an idiot because the amount of time she would yell at me for doing dumb shit was just...
Yeah.
I mean, I was like 16 and I just started the job, but still, I truly was a dumbass, okay? Like, I really let this lady manipulate me into getting finessed. And, yeah, my manager sat there and told me, yeah, I'm writing you up for this. You need to make sure
Dang, a write-up.
you get is signed, because then you won't be able to cash it. And I have this problem in life, just in general, where I always second-guess myself. But I knew it.
Never second-guess yourself.
It has her account number on it. They still won't be able to cash it without a signature. It doesn't matter. Or maybe they will. I don't fucking know. So I never really found out the outcome of the situation, whether the check went through or not. But I still got written up regardless. And I'm lucky I didn't get suspended again or fired, because that very well could have happened. And like I said earlier, they definitely just...
I'm sorry I'm not really talking much in this video.
They were just fucking deploying any other person off the street to work at my grocery store. It didn't even matter to them. The interview process did not take that much brain cells to go through, so they were pretty desperate for help at this point. But the craziest customer I have dealt with by far, I mentioned him briefly in my last video, but I never really went into
the old style.
Great guy. And the reason why
we carry
around this big ass milk crate with him everywhere he went. And Crate Guy was a spectacle, truly. He was one of the regulars, always in the store every single day. Now, this took place from 2020, 2021, around that time. And the very first encounter that I had with this dude, he was apologizing to my friend. And I was really confused. I was like, what is going on? And who even is this guy? I just got off break and I'm like, okay, clearly some shit must have happened. And I asked my friend what happened. And pretty much what he said, he asked him if he was in school and like what he was doing for like extracurriculars and shit like that. And he told him he was doing mass debate. Some of you may see where this is going, some of you may not. And basically what happened is Crate Guy said, so, are you a mass debater? Like, this dude really made a dad joke about choking the chicken. That is insane. So he was just laughing the whole time. And then he was like, no, really, it was like a serious question. Do you touch yourself? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, on everything.
Right.
On my channel, on my life, on everything. This shit is real. Crate Guy looked like he was pushing 70. He looked like Carl from Up. So my friend was obviously like, okay, I need to get this guy the hell out of here. And that he does. And afterwards, the manager asked him if he wanted to go work in the bakery. So he did for a little bit. And then he talked to the manager about Crate Guy. And then he tells the manager, like, hey, can you make sure he doesn't go through my line again? Because what he said to me was insane. And that was when I first encountered him. The second time my friend saw him. Once my friend dropped the lore to me about Crate Guy, yeah, bro, I just did not want this dude in my line at all. Like, I would turn off my light every single time this dude would pull up, because I did not want to talk to this dude. Because every time he would talk to me, like when I was on my break, he would be talking to me.
Nah, you're gonna have to go through self-checkout. Sorry.
What the hell he was talking about, to be honest with you. He was telling me how he was writing a book, and he was also cooking up a GoFundMe. And that's why he was there so often. He would always be typing his GoFundMe on the computer. And he would always tell all of us, every cashier that was at the store at this point, to go check it out. And that we did, okay? We were all curious. We had to check out this GoFundMe. He told me the name, but I couldn't really remember it that first time, but luckily I came across him again. I was working the express register one day. Crate Guy went through my line, and it was a blessing in disguise. He was telling me about the GoFundMe again, and I told him to write it down on a piece of paper. Because, you know, I just couldn't find it, bro. You gotta tell me what the name is. And he did. He told me the name, and obviously I'm not gonna say it, but we'll just say it was like...
Bruh.
If your dream is to become a nurse, WGU's pre-licensure nursing program is here to help you make it a...
It's like Crate Guy, 1, 2, 3. What a creative name, I know. Everybody was asking...
What was the GoFundMe for?
GoFundMe, and I just gave him the piece of paper. And we had to turn our phones into a bin for some reason. I mean, I kept mine on me. I didn't really care. We really couldn't use our phones at all or else we were cooked. So we just looked it up the moment we got home. Me and my friends were in an Xbox party, and the friend of mine had that weird-ass encounter with Crate Guy. He was the one reading the GoFundMe. And usually people will make a GoFundMe when they're in extreme need of, like, medical care or something like that. But this guy, he just made one for the fuck of it. And he made the goal, like, $1 million. I forget exactly what the goal was.
What?
But yeah, some of it's a little bit too deep for YouTube. I don't really want to talk about it. But in a nutshell, I don't think he had a place to live, so he spent a lot of time in stores with his computer and shit like that. And basically, he would get kicked out from these stores and places a lot for mooching off of their Wi-Fi. And just staying there for way too long. I remember one time, he stayed at our store for like 8+ hours. And
dang!
Kicked out by the end of the night. Because we can't let him stay there, bro. We gotta close down the store. I've never seen somebody more locked in typing up a GoFundMe in my entire life. Yeah, he would just be there for hours. I could be there the entire shift, and by the end of my shift, he was still there typing. The dedication.
Dang, I feel like Mario Nick. Like, he just has to apologize. Like, he's not, like, reacting. But, like, when it comes to my SML reactions, like, I react, and I pause a lot, but I do react. But, like, Super Mario Nick is just, like, I feel like he just watches the video, then, like, you know, does all that. I'm not saying he's a lazy reactor or anything. I still like him, but, like, you know, he doesn't really react, like that.
It's crazy, man. He had to stay locked in. But yeah, clearly Crate Guy had a lot going on mentally, and some crazy shit happened where apparently somebody ended up getting a restraining order on him, so Yeah. It's a
Dang.
long story. That was the spark notes of it, but it was basically his life lore, and that shit was like 20 pages long. I don't know how my friend read the entire thing, but he did. And was this the book he was talking about he was working on? I'm not even sure. I don't know.
What?
This next story, unfortunately, closed the little chapter of the Crate Guy lore. You know, just ended it with a nice little bow on top, closed the storybook, and I never saw him again after this. But yeah, literally 2 weeks later, this is like right before I was about to leave, the service clerk went outside to get carts as per usual, and he saw none other than Crate Guy just pissing in the parking lot. There is a bathroom in the store. I don't know why he had to piss in the parking lot. So there he was, pissing in Ultra HD view, so the service clerk went to go get the manager, and this dude, Crate Guy, got banned. I might have to ask my friends who still work there. I don't know if he ever got unbanned. I'm not even sure. But yeah, watch the first...
Alright. Well. Oh, congrats on 600k subscribers, Birdie. Yeah. Yeah, that's some weird effing encounters right there. I'm not gonna lie. Crate Guy, really? Like, wow. Dude really made a dad joke about choking the chicken. That's actually crazy. And that's to an underage person. Wow, that is... Wow, the balls or the insanity of that is crazy. Like... Wow. Yeah. I don't really got much to say for this video. But, yeah. Yeah, working retail really does suck. I mean, I don't have any experience, but you know, I heard it sucks a lot. And grocery store and all that. Like, I feel like the most easiest like retail place to work out is either I'm about to get a lot of comments about this, but either Walmart or Aldi. Cause like if you're a cashier at Aldi, all you have to do is just put it back in the car and they bag it up. Like the people who bought it and paid for it bag it up on their own, so you don't have to worry about that. Or like Walmart, you can just be a greeter or something, or check receipts. Like most of the time, you don't have to check the receipts. Like some people will walk up and give you the receipts. Most of the time, they'll just walk past you. So yeah, basically you're getting paid just to stand there. Basically, yeah, sure, it's boring, but it's something. But yeah, if you guys did go on to enjoy the video, please drop a like, subscribe to the channel as always. And without further ado, this is official SMO Battle signing off.